So you are in the markets for 40 years. I seen your LinkedIn and the profiles and things. And Sunil sir, thank you for giving opportunity for our channel. We are new starter, but I want to start with one of the senior most guys. So that's why I started with you.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, sir. So before going to the markets, let's know about yourself first, like your personal journey from IIT to CEO to the markets.
Well, actually, technically, it's not true that I've spent 40 years in the market. I've spent only 20 years in the market. 20 years I was a banker. So from
Okay.
IIT, I was keen to pursue an academic line and I joined for my PhD, but for family reasons, I had to drop out. And so when
Yeah.
I couldn't pursue my passion, I basically wrote all the competitive exams and I got
Yeah.
selected in State Bank as a probationary officer. So I spent 9.5 years in State Bank and then I moved to a foreign bank, American Express Bank. I spent another
Yeah.
9 years in American Express and I was corporate banking head. For 2 years, I took a short stint with Bank of America. So that's roughly 20 years
Yeah.
of my start career was in the financial services
Banking.
domain, but in banking, more in corporate banking.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to make a switch to the asset management. That happened because of sheer locational consideration, not for any other reason. I wanted to remain in
Yeah.
Chennai, and Sundaram Mutual Fund, being headquartered in Chennai, offered me a job in Chennai.
Yeah.
I had to learn everything at the age of 45. I was an observer of the market. I was an investor in the market on my personal before that. But understanding the workings of the market and everything started in 2005. And then for the next 7 years, on the sales side, I joined. And then I became the deputy CEO, CEO, MD in them. And I retired in
Yeah.
June 2024. Subsequent to that,
Okay.
from last 2 years, I've been trying to do some financial literacy education to people, giving back to society. So I set up my own YouTube channel called Sense and Simplicity,
Yeah.
where I
I
try
seen
to
that.
post my market updates, try to explain what's happening in simple terms so that ordinary people can understand. So that's not a
Yeah.
commercial enterprise; it's just purely from a voluntary perspective. So essentially, that's been my journey. That I'm now in a stage where I want to help
Yeah.
improve financial
Yeah.
literacy, people to make their plans better.
Yeah, that's a great thing, sir, because you had a lot of experience and you giving the educational purpose. So that's one of the greatest thing, and you spending some time for that. Okay, and the thing is, sir, you are in banking at 1980s, and you are been corporate banking at that time, and India was very closed at that time. All the foreign funds and the corporate bank. How was it? How was at that time, sir? The banking, how
It was a
you
very
seen?
It's a very profitable industry because we didn't have a developed debt capital markets at all. So people had no choice but to come to a bank for a loan. They could not go and
Yeah,
raise NCDs or anything in the market easily. It's just abroad you can
yeah,
do that. So
yeah,
the banker's role was very critical, and we're dealing with the large groups and financing their acquisitions and their working capital and all of that. So it was a very sweet spot at that stage. India was developing, so access to capital was not easy. So as a
yeah.
capital provider from a bank, we were able to charge very good interest rates and help corporates to achieve their purposes. So it was a fulfilling work, but very profitable. And then towards the end of it, the challenges started with India's cycle going through a tough phase, and uh,
Yeah,
and I think that in all it was a very good learning journey because what it helped me when I came to the asset management industry is that because I had to analyze balance sheets, so it made
yeah,
me help understand shares very easily when I came to the
yeah,
asset management. So all the fundamental analysis, a lender does an
yeah,
analysis is not very different from a equity doing it. Because ultimately the debt analysis is the foundation for an equity
yeah.
analysis. So
Yes,
without
yes.
debt analysis, you
Without
cannot do
the,
equity. So you have to understand the risk of the company and the riskiness. So it gave me a good head start in terms of
yeah.
understanding the share market and all of that.
And if you see the banking, there is a tremendous change in the technology. At 1980s up to 2005, when I was like a small kid, I seen a lot of lines in the bank, and the people used to see like a banker was one of the greatest job at that time. The marriages are very easy for the bankers. It's a different scenario now. Now they have a lot of pressure, but at that time there is not that much technology. Banker used to be the main person for every business. without because for they used to like now how the polices are there at that time the bankers are there in the request by the people like asking for the loans or give some cash withdrawal is very hard at that time. There is no UPI, no phone pay, no online transactions at that time. Yeah, how you see that changes now?
Well, since I've not been in touch with banking, I know what you
Yeah,
know, I know. Right? As a
yeah,
user of a bank, I know it has changed. But since I
yeah,
left banking in 2005, last 20
yeah,
years, a lot of change internally to a bank. So I'm not very aware of that because I'm more now
yeah,
an external observer. And the same thing that you mentioned, that
yeah,
now been years since I visited a bank branch. So,
yeah,
right. So
yeah,
even now, even visiting an ATM has become very rare because of the
yeah,
online. So I think yes, banking has completely changed as a business and industry. But the primary goal of banking to finance the retail, small and medium enterprises, that has not changed. Core of this
okay,
is that in that business there is still
yeah,
need for that lending support, and the basic business of banking in India has not
yeah,
changed to the extent like abroad, where everything is done through rating agencies and everything. The smaller companies cannot get good ratings. So the
yeah,
lending part of the business, I would say, to the top people it has changed, because anybody with the AAA
yeah,
rated can go to the bond market and raise. They don't. The banks only serve as originators there. But in the smaller end of the market, right, the retail and the SME, banking still
yeah.
has a very important role to play, and I think it is a crucial part in India, I would say, as a sector.
Okay. So once coming to your personal journey, so are your family was what type of backgrounds are their
Both my wife
educational?
and I were bankers, so both of us joined
Yeah.
in State Bank. So she continued, she finished her career with State Bank. She has also
Okay.
retired about 4 years ago. So
Okay.
she was a career banker. My
Okay.
children, my daughter is currently a fund manager in Singapore, and my son has
Okay.
his own startup in Bangalore. So
Yeah.
we're all in the
Thank you, sir.
finance, in that field
Yeah.
only.
Thank you, sir. Sunil. Your journey was tremendous. And now coming to the mar markets. So what do you think about the middle class Indians, sir? Like, is it a good bet for the India middle class Indians in the markets, or it's only for the big people? Once upon a time, there is no small people in the markets. Most of them are all HNIs and banks, capital markets. But now most of the retail
Harish,
parts. Your net was some. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, you. I think your internet has. Oh, no, so your voice was
no, no,
breaking.
incoming call, so
Hello,
now
so your voice is
hello.
breaking, sir.
Okay,
I uh, I think you had some
you can't
internet
hear
issue.
me.
No, no, sir. I think your voice, your it was struck.
I got an incoming call.
Okay, 1 minute.
Now it's okay.
Yeah, a little bit, sir. But the video, I can't see you. Yeah, you can once leave and join again, sir. No problem then. I'll try that. So yeah. Hello, sir.